my main point is that the whole system of global governance has been very economic focused. In contrast, the UN has always been much more humane, human rights focused. And there's lots of, therefore, positive experience of the UN to build on. We needn't construct the world as if it's just a market. We can construct it as if it's concerned with people.
But the problem is that in the UN, trying to counteract other institutions like Bretton Woods, from my point of view, the economic ideas take greater weight. So that's how we find ourselves in this situation.
There were some very disillusioned, I'd say, about the UN, but I was at pains to try and point out that it's not so much the UN that has failed, it's the fact that governments that ought to be supporting the UN have not been supporting it and find it's very convenient to treat the UN as a scapegoat. If you look at over the long run, you see the UN has had a lot of influence, a lot of successes, and the world is a better place for it. I think I'm more positive towards the Millennium Development Goals. First, looked at historically, for all countries, or almost all, to have agreed goals for the reduction of poverty throughout the world. It's a major step forward. It wouldn't have happened in the 1930s. It wouldn't even have crossed anyone's mind in the 19th century. They just wanted to go into Africa for more empire and so on and so forth.
I think that in being able to articulate in sound bites 15 different things that the world should be heading towards kind of takes away the whole conversation behind what you're trying to address to begin with. And so maybe the trying to simplify it to a point that it's easily addressable in a 2.5-minute news coverage is part of the problem.
We forget that these initiatives, goals, organizations are built to help people, and it doesn't matter where the idea came from or who's responsible for it. It's important the exposure we're getting from all of this, and that we forget that it's also our individual responsibility to make the change we want to see.
The MDGs are simplified. They are only part of development. They haven't been perfectly implemented. But by historical standards, they're a major step forward.